Hey everyone, thank you for calling Infinite Realms. What the hell am I thinking? Sorry. Anyway, thank you for watching Infinite Realms. Today was sort of an impulse buy, but not really. It was, well, I saw him up for pre-order at BBTS. I marked him as for pre-order, and now he's here. It is the Crimson Guard. Reason I pre-ordered, I thought there was a good chance that this one was gonna get sold out, and from what I'm seeing, I was right. So I'm kind of glad I did a pre-order on it because I might have missed out. Uh, Still, I'm glad I got them. I've always liked Crimson Guards because the silver and the red contrast each other so well, and I just think it makes for a very dynamic look. And I do like that they pulled a lot of the look from the original figure onto this one. Now, the only thing I would say, there was a weird thing with the 25th anniversary one, and it looked like he had a little shotgun on his holster instead of a pistol. I'm not complaining or anything. I always thought it was weird. So, and it didn't hold up very well anyway. You always lost that damn shotgun. I mean, it looked like a little mini shotgun, so I don't know what it was. Anyway, I do like it. It's a good looking figure. Let's get it down and let me go over the things I like about it. Okay, and again, I'm just going to explain it real quick. This week I'm just trying some different backdrops, and this one is my the replica of my old comic shop, and it used to be the background on some of the reviews I used to write back in the day when we used to type this stuff out and do it the hard way with HTML and all that. No, not really. I think there was some program that would write your site for you. I can't remember it now. It's long gone, I can tell you that much. And, doing this review as of this recording just a day or two ago, the rumor about the Python Patrol Crimson Guard came out, and people are going, why isn't he crimson? I'm like, dude, have you never seen the original? Because, let me tell you something. We asked that 30 years ago, and nobody told us. So, don't think Hasbro's suddenly going to give you an answer now. They're just following the old playbook and going for a cheap nostalgia grab. So anyway, this is Crimson Guard. I admit Crimson Guard was one of the faves of my old collecting days. He was a really cool figure. Something different and unique. And boy, oh boy, have they tried to emulate that since. I mean, seriously. They have, if you remember is it the new sculpt error? I mean, they really never designated that, did they? I mean, at the time, it was a new sculpt error when they couldn't figure out proportions. It was like Rob Liefeld was drawing the designs or something, because, have short torso and long legs or something like that. Anyway, during those days, I can remember they did a Neo Viper. Didn't understand the name of that figure either. And there was a red one that had like a funny head, and people were like, oh, it's a Crimson Guard. That can be a Crimson Guard. And it was not a Crimson Guard. It was like miles away from a Crimson Guard. And boy, they finally released a couple of Crimson Guards in the regular series. I think one was Agent Faces in Disguise. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, no, it was it was Agent Faces. And finally, the Joe community shut up. Then they did Crimson Guard in Black, which I'm sure nobody remembers. Do I bet Classified will do that too? Yes. Yes, I do. I almost guarantee it. I have no faith in Hasbro not producing repaints. Just going to be blunt about it right now. They'll do anything. I mean, we got, I mean, we've already got Python Patrol, oh god, bats, jeez, and then Crimson Bats. They had two versions of bats we never had, and boom, there they are. Whoop, there it is. Okay, so kind of embarrassing. I was sitting here gearing him up, And suddenly I realized the pistol's missing. I have looked around all over the floor. I've looked back in the package to make sure I took it out. Yes, I did. Obviously, it fell off the table, but I don't know where it went, and there's nowhere for it to go. So it's kind of weird. So, you know, we will now do this review with an invisible pistol. Just keep that in mind, and I'm sure it will turn up somewhere. And then, you know, in worst case scenario, I do have a couple of replacements I can use for it, so it's not like a big loss, but it's just really, really weird. Okay, so for accessories, he comes with a rifle with a removable magazine, and can't help but notice that the rifle kind of looks like an extended M4 or maybe M16, which is an American rifle, which makes Sarge's choice of an AK even doubly confusing. Okay, so I want to stop now and just point out something. I snapped the mag back into the gun, and I picked it up, and it literally fell out and landed on the floor. It took me 5 minutes to find it. And, God, I hope you guys can't hear that chainsaw going on down the road outside, because I don't know why they decided to chainsaw today, because it's raining here, so I don't understand it at all. But yeah, so I've had this happen with 2 other guns from Classified. One of them was Alley Viper, and that kind of bugged me. But yeah, so be careful with your mags. Make sure that they're good and sturdy in there, because they fall out pretty easy. Now, the Crimson Guard also comes with a knife and a pistol. Remember, the pistol is invisible for purposes right now, since it's been lost in the ether. And he also comes with a sword and scabbard that he can either put on his belt or put on the backpack. Speaking of putting on the backpack, I heard somebody complaining that, you know, he couldn't pack all his gear, but they never once tried the peg on the back to put in with the trigger. So, yeah, as you can see, yeah, you can put it there. And of course his nice backpack, which looks a lot like the originals, but is not in red, thank God. Because I always hated that backpack in red. Now, it's not quite the same backpack as he had in his original V1, but it's close enough for government work. On articulation now, the up and down is a little bit hindered by the helmet. He has, of course, the typical double jointed arms. Again, finally pinless, thank you, G.I. Joe. I don't know why they haven't been doing more pinless with G.I. Joe. It seems like they're going back to pin molds. I'll talk about that in my Sergeant Slaughter comparison. Sorry, not a topic for here. Anyway, of course, got the trigger fingers with the up and down pivot. That works, and of course you can spin them around, da-da-da. Legs are typical, you know, thigh cut, knee joint, double knees, rocker and swivel for the ankle. Now, the only real flub I would give to the figure is the gun choice. The original came with an AK-48A. Now, some people's heads are spinning because they're like, how do you know that? I don't know much about guns, but a lot of what I know about military guns comes from G.I. Joe, and if you ever paid attention, on the sides of the cards, it lists the types of weapons, and that was one that stuck out to me, because I was like, is an AK-48 an upgrade from an AK-47? But at least I got the bayonet right, so I'll give them that much. I mean, maybe it is nitpicky a little bit, but, you know, at the same time, I don't know. It just seems like the gun choices are a little weird on the Classified line. Like, they don't know what they're doing, which is fine if you don't know what you're doing, but, you know, maybe you should do a little research and, I don't know, look things up before you start putting them on the guys. I mean, it takes 3 seconds to Google, and I know those guys have cell phones that can Google, so it's not a question of that. Just kind of bugs me, you know? Really bugs me that, you know, people don't take a chance to Google and just look knowledgeable. No, I also saw where somebody was suggesting he should have a Fred head. Oh my. Yeah, no. I'm okay with not that because my Crimson Guards when I was a kid, they were not all this. They didn't all look alike. So to me, that was a bit of kind of stretching how far believability is, if you get my meaning. Yeah. So with that one knock in mind, I'll give him 4.5 stars. I mean, he's still pretty good despite the gun thing. You can explain away the gun thing by Cobra ripped off a American munitions depot or something. I mean, I grant you, M16 is a little dated. I mean, and that's definitely what it looks like to me, an M16. Or like I said, an extended M4. It's like an enlarged M4. Those are the only two guns I can see it as. I don't see it as much else. But, yeah. I mean, you can't excuse that by saying they raided, an American depot and just divvied that out to their Crimson Guards. I mean, I could see that. But, it's a little more explainable than, Slaughter stealing an enemy's gun. I mean, there's nowhere that is said, and it's like you just pulling shit out of the air. So, and then again, I was just pulling shit out of the air. So that's it. That's my review of G.I. Joe Classified Crimson Guard. I like it. I've heard people saying they're army building it. So, I mean, if you want to, that's cool. I mean, I've got enough on the 118 scale to do me for a while. So, I'm not going to army build it. But I'm going to get at least one because, yeah, they are cool figures. All right. Thank you for watching Infinite Realms. Excuse me while I'm trying to get over this cold. And don't forget to like and subscribe.